Children, welcome back to my class. How are you all? Hope you all are doing great. Okay, today in this class we are going to study about your science fifth lesson, that is acids, bases and salts. Okay, so in this class we are going to deal with some of the certain points, that are what are acids, what are bases, what is the difference between acids and bases, and what are indicators and the types of indicators. Okay, so let's start. Children, here you are having some couple of substances. You might have tasted all these, right? Lemon juice, orange juice, vinegar, curd, tamarind, sugar, common salt, amla, baking soda, grapes, unripe mango. Right? Now you have to tell me how all these substances taste. Okay, whether they taste sour or bitter, or else they are having any other taste. Okay, so let us start from the first one. Lemon juice. How it tastes? Yes, it tastes sour, right? Orange juice, sour. Vinegar, yes, it tastes sour. What about curd? Yes, it tastes sour. Next, tamarind. It is also called imli. How it tastes? It tastes sour, right? What about the sugar? It tastes very bitter, right? No, it tastes very sweet. It is sweet. Next, what about common salt? It's salty. Okay. Amla, it's sour. Baking soda, it's bitter. Grapes, it's sour. Then what about the unripe mango? It's also sour in taste, isn't it? So you found that some of these substances taste sour, some taste bitter, some taste sweet, and some taste salty, isn't it? Okay, all right. Children, um, we all know that chocolates, ice creams, and cakes taste sweet because they all have sugar in them, right? But have you ever wondered why certain foods like lemon, oranges are sour in taste? Why? Because all these lemon or orange, it consists of acids in them. That's why they taste sour. Okay, so first one, the words as acid is comes from the Latin word acere, means sour. Okay, next, the chemical nature of such substance is acidic. So the substance that contain acids are called acidic substances. For example, here the lemon. The lemon consists of citric acid. The vinegar consists of acidic acid. The curd consists of lactic acid. So the chemical nature of such substances is acidic, and the substances that contains acids are called acidic substances. Understood? Okay, the next point is the acids in these substances are natural acids. Here in lemon, in vinegar and in the curd, all these consist of natural acids. We find two types of acids. One is a natural or the organic acids. The second one is the artificial or the inorganic acids. The natural acids obtained from the natural substances, whereas the artificial or the inorganic acids probably prepared synthetically in the laboratory. And these natural acids, they are weak in nature, so it will not burn your skin even we eat it, right? Here lemon, vinegar, curd, we eat it, so it is not harmful to us, whereas the artificial and inorganic acids, they prepared in the laboratory, so they are very strong and they can burn your hands. For example, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid or nitric acids. Understood, children, what are acids? Okay. The next concept is bases. Children, what if you accidentally touch a bit of soap to your tongue while having a bath? Yes? Tell me. Yeah, you are right. It tastes bitter, right? Doesn't the soap also feel slippery when you touch it? Yes, it feels slippery. And what about the baking soda which is used to prepare some dishes in your house? What about the baking soda? Does it also taste sour? Huh? No, it doesn't taste sour. It is bitter in taste, so it doesn't have a acid. Okay, if you rub its solution between the fingers, it feels what? Soapy, right? So generally the substances like baking soda or the soap, which are bitter in taste and feel soapy on touching, are known as bases. Understood? The substances which are bitter in taste and feel soapy on touching are known as bases. Next, the nature of such substances is said to be basic. So, the bitter taste and the slippery feel are properties of another substance that is a base, as you know it, right? So, the substances like soap and the baking soda that contain bases are called basic substances, and those substances are basic in nature. Understood, children? What are bases? Okay, baking soda, soap are the example and are the examples for bases. Okay, and some other examples also there, we will discuss it here. Okay, here we are having a sources of the acids and bases and where we found those acids. Okay, the first one is the acetic acid. So we find this acetic acid in vinegar. Okay, formic acid, ants sting. Ant sting means it is a biting of the ant. When the ants bite, it injects a formic acid into a body, so that is called a formic acid, where we find the formic acid in ants sting. Next is citric acid. Citric acid is found in citrus fruits such as oranges, lemons, etc. Next is lactic acid. The lactic acid we found it in a curd. You eat the curd, right? So it consists of lactic acid. See, it is a kind of acid, but our body needs such kind of acids. They are naturally occurring acids, which are the weak acid which do not harm our body. Okay, next one is the oxalic acid. Oxalic acid you find in a spinach. Next, ascorbic acid. It is vitamin C. It is present in amla and citrus fruits. Next is tartaric acid. The tartaric acid, it is present in tamarind, grapes, unripe mangoes, etc. Okay, all the acids mentioned above occur in nature. So these are the natural acids. Next one is the sources of bases. Calcium hydroxide, it is a kind of base. We find these calcium hydroxide in the lime water. Children, the lime water is different from the lemon juice. Okay, the lime water is different from the lemon juice. The lime water means it is the mixture of lime, means tuna. Have you heard the word tuna? Yes, it's a mixture of tuna and the water, so that is called a lime water. Okay, next one is the ammonium hydroxide. The ammonium hydroxide we found in a window cleaner. Next is sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. It is present in the soap. Any soap you can take, like Lux, Santu. Okay, so many of the soaps, almost all the soaps, it consists of sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Next, magnesium hydroxide. It is a kind of base which is present in milk of magnesia. This milk of magnesia, it is used for the treatment of indigestion of the food in your stomach. Okay, so these are the some sources of acids and the bases. Understood, children? Okay, the next one is neutral. What about the substances that are neither acidic nor basic? Yes, they are said to be neutral. Okay, so the substances or the solutions that are neither acidic or basic, they are said to be neutral. Understood, children? What are neutral solutions or the neutral? The substances or the solutions that are neither acidic or basic, they are said to be neutral. For example, pure water. Pure water is one such example for neutral. Understood what is neutral? Okay. Next one is indicators. Children, most substances simply cannot be tasted as they may be very poisonous or the dangerous, right? Can we taste each and every substances? No, because they may be a poison. Yes, so how would you find out the nature of such a substance? Is it an acid or the base? So for that purpose we are having one substance that is called a indicator. Understood what is indicator? Special type of substances are used to test whether a substance is acidic or basic is called a indicator, or even the neutral. Okay, special type of substances are used to test whether a substance is acidic, basic or neutral. Such substances are called indicators. We find there are two types of indicators: natural indicators and synthetic indicators. Here these are the examples for natural indicators which they are occurring naturally. For example, turmeric, litmus and China rose or hibiscus. Okay, so these are the examples for naturally occurring indicators. Next one is a synthetic indicators or synthesized indicators. These indicators are made from chemicals and are usually prepared in laboratories. Okay, so for example, phenolphthalein, methyl orange or methyl red are some examples for synthetic indicators. Understood, children? Okay, let us study one by one which are the natural indicators. The first one is a litmus, a natural dye in the sense color. Okay, litmus. What is litmus? Litmus is extracted from the lichens which is used to detect whether the given substance is acidic, basic or neutral. Okay, so the most popular and universally used indicator is litmus. Understood? So the most commonly used natural indicator is litmus, and this litmus is extracted from the lichens. Lichens means it is a kind of fungus. Okay, the lichen means it is a kind of fungus, a simple slow growing plant like organism. Here I will show you the picture of lichen. See, these are the lichens. Okay, these are the picture of lichens. It is a simple slow growing plant like organism that typically form a low crusty and leaf like or branching growth on rocks, walls and on trees. Here you can see these lichens. It is growing on the tree, right, on the branches of the tree. Okay, so we find the lichens on the rocks, walls and on the trees. It is a kind of fungus. So this lichen, the litmus is extracted from the lichens. Next one, when added to an acidic solution it turns red. When we add this litmus to the acidic solution it turns into red color. Understood? When add to the basic solutions it turns to blue color. Next, it is available in the form of solution or in the form of strips of paper. Here I will show you. It is available in the both form, in the solution as well as in the strips form. Here you can see, right, these are the strips of the litmus. It is available as red and blue litmus paper. This is a red litmus paper and this is a blue litmus paper. Understood, children? Okay, let us do one activity by using the litmus paper on acids. You can take any acid. Okay, so just what we have to do, mix some water with a lemon juice, okay, in a tumbler or in any bowl. Okay, take some lemon juice in any tumbler, add some amount of water into it. Next, what you have to do, put a drop of this solution on the strip of the blue litmus paper. Okay, so when you put the solution, that lemon juice on the blue litmus paper, it turns into red color. Here you can see this is a blue litmus paper, right? It is turning its color into the red. So blue litmus paper turns into red in acids. Okay, next, what about the red litmus paper? This is about the blue litmus paper, right? This is about the red litmus paper. Red litmus paper shows no change. Okay, when you put any acid, it may be a lemon juice or orange juice or any kind of acids, it will not change its color. Which one? The red litmus will not change its color, but the blue litmus changes the color into red. Understood, children? Okay, here next one is activity with the base. Now what you have to do, you have to take some soap. As we know that the soap is one of the base, right? You have to take one soap solution. Now dip the red litmus paper. Okay, you have to dip the red litmus paper into the solution, and you will find that red litmus paper turns that color into blue. Here you can see it is turning its color into blue right here. So the red litmus paper turns to blue in bases. Okay, then what about the blue litmus paper? The blue litmus paper show no change, it remains blue itself. Here in the acid it is totally opposite in the base. Here you can see the blue litmus turns into red. Here in the bases the blue litmus, it will not change its color, whereas in the acids the red litmus shows no change, whereas here in the base the red litmus turns to blue. Understood, children? Okay. Children, the question may arise in your mind that why the lichens are used as a natural indicator, because these lichens they can be extremely sensitive to chemical changes in the environment such as air pollution. Okay, so it is very sensitive to chemical changes in the environment. That is why it is used to make a litmus paper. Understood? Okay, next one is turmeric. Turmeric is another kind of natural indicator, right? So let us do one activity here. Take a tablespoon of turmeric powder. Okay, you have to take some turmeric powder, then you have to add a water into it and make a paste. Then make a paste of it. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to apply that paste on any filter paper or any blotting paper. Now let it to be dry for few minutes. After drying, the turmeric paper turns yellow. Here you can see it turns to yellow. Now make some strips by cutting it. Okay, understood? Now what you have to do, children, put a drop of soap solution. You have to take some soap solution here. Okay, you have to take soap solution here on the, now put a drop of soap solution on the strip of turmeric paper or turmeric strip. What you have observed here? Tell me. When you put the soap solution on the strip of turmeric paper, what you have observed here? Yes, it turns to red. So why it is turns to red? Because the soap is a base. So here for bases, yellow turns to red color. Here it has turned, right? So this yellow, after putting the drop of soap solution on these yellow strips, it turns into red color. So it means for bases yellow turns to red. Okay, and then what about the acids? Now you take any kind of acid like lemon juice, orange juice, or your curd. Okay, you take any acid, you just put a drop of turmeric or else you can do, you have already having a strips, right? So dip one strip into that lemon juice, you will observe nothing because it is an acid. So turmeric is yellow in acid, it stays yellow only in the acids, it will not change its color, but on the bases the yellow turns to red color. Understood? Here you are having one activity, children. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to take any paper. Okay, you have to take any kind of plain paper, just apply a turmeric paste onto it, then let it to be dry. Afterwards, by taking a soap solution, you can draw any sketches on it or any drawing, then you will observe something. Okay, you will get a beautiful greeting card, because when you add the soap solution, that is a base, onto the indicator, that is a turmeric, it changes color into the red. Okay, understood? Next one, children, here now we'll take a sample and test whether the sample are acidic or basic. Okay, we'll take a two sample, we don't know. Okay, just we have taken two samples, sample 1 and sample 2. Now if you put a drop of basic solution, so we'll put some solution onto the strip of the turmeric paper, it turns its color, as we know, that means it is a basic, right? If the color changes to yellow to red, it means it is a basic solution. Next we'll take one sample and put it into a strip. There is a no change in color, means it is acidic in nature. Now the question is, as I have told you in the neutrals, that here it is a neutral, right? Neutral, the substance, the solution are neither acidic or basic. Neutral means the substances or the solutions are neither acidic or basic, means it do not change its color to any indicator, it remains as it is, right? So here now, yes, so when you put the basic solution, it turns into red, right? Then what about this one, first solution? It remains as it is, means it is acidic. Now the question is, if you put this solution into the strip, it remains as it is, because it may be acidic or it may be a neutral, right? So now how to find whether it is a neutral or the acidic? Already we got this is a basic solution. Okay, just leave about this solution. Now the question is sample 1, whether it is acidic or the neutral, because there is no change in the color. So now what we have to do now, however, if you now you have to take this red used paper. Okay, this one you have to take red used paper and put a drop of sample 1. Okay, if it turns into the yellow color again, here you can see we have taken the used red paper, right? So we have to put the sample 1 onto the strip, that used strip. Here the change in the color, we get the yellow color, it means it is acidic in solution. If there is a no change in color after putting the both the samples, means it is a neutral. Understood? For bases, yellow turns to red, and for the acid, the yellow remains as it is, but in the neutrals there is a no change in the color. Understood, children? What is acid, what is bases, and what are neutrals? Okay. Okay, the next one is one more natural indicator, that is China rose or the hibiscus. Now it is very easy to prepare a China rose, means indicator. Okay, so here what we have to do, collect some China rose petals and place them in a beaker. Okay, or else you can place them in any small test tube and add some warm water into it. Keep the mixture for some time till water becomes colored. Okay, now in some another test tube, this is called the test tube, which is used in a laboratory. Okay, so in first test tube, you just take any acid, it may be lemon juice or orange juice. In the second test tube, you just take a base, it may be a soap solution or baking powder. Okay, so just add some water here in the first test tube and the second test tube and make some mixture. Okay, in the first one, you just put 4 to 5 drops of China rose indicator. When you add this into the acid, it changes its color into a dark pink. Here you can see that it is also called a magenta color. Next one, when you add this indicator to the test tube 2, which is consist a base, that is a soap solution, it turns the color into a green color. You can see the beautiful green color and a beautiful magenta color, right? So this is how the indicator, the China rose indicator works. So it turns acidic solution to the dark color, that is magenta, and it turns basic solution to the green color. Understood, children? Okay, let's move to the next one. Here there is a, what is the difference between acids and the bases? The first one is acids, they are sour in taste, as we know that, and the bases are bitter in taste. The second one is turns blue litmus paper to red, which we have done it, right? Next, bases turns red litmus paper to blue. Next, no effect on turmeric paper, it will remain as it is, stays yellow only, right? So what about the bases? It turns turmeric paper to red color. Next one is turns China rose solution to magenta color, whereas the base, it turns China rose solution to green color. Understood what is the difference between the acids and the bases? Okay, very good children. Next, okay, so today in this class we have learned what are acids, what are bases, and what is the difference between acids and bases. Next, what are indicators and what are the types of indicators, and how we can identify whether the solution or the given substance is acidic or the basic by using the indicators. Understood children? Okay.